saw it. Mike is muted. I saw it. I caught it before y'all said anything. So, hi. So, tomorrow is the 16th installation, production, annual 16th season, 16th year of Baltimore Fashion Week. And I am like, it's tomorrow. Y'all see my background, right? So y'all know I'm in here still working, right? Been knew about this for a whole year, and I'm just still working. So I'm so happy to bring to the screen two of the I'm gonna say models, two of the designers that will be gracing the runway tomorrow in the Pearl Stone Theater at Center Stage. I'm really excited to be here and to bring this experience to you and for them. Earlier, this was it this week or last week? I can't remember. Everything's like one day now. We had Brinette on here from Alchemy Designs by Bree, and she was now she wasn't on here, but we were on Instagram. So I really don't like this lipstick, y'all. Okay, fine. So on Instagram, we know we were just hanging out like two girlfriends, just chilling. Y'all know how I do my lives, right? Okay. So first, so let me tell you who's here. If you didn't see the hey Terry, how are you? Terry and I, who's here from Facebook, we graduated. We went to school together. I know we lived around the corner from each other. I think we went to Carver. Not sure. Years ago. Years ago. So she's here. Hey Terry. Hey. Okay, my camera. Okay, there you go. And so we're going to bring on board. We have Regina Ileta. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right. If not, she will correct me. That we're open to corrective policies here, and so she's here, and she is the third designer for Baltimore Fashion Week tomorrow. And then we have Bree. I'm just gonna call her Bree because the whole registration time she was Brianna to me until she check me like they always do on Instagram. But y'all know I'm all for a good check. Correct me, correct me. So Brinette is here, Bree, she's here, and she's going to talk about her collection as well. So I'll bring both of the ladies up. So ladies, I don't know if you're muted, but I'm gonna bring you up. I'm just letting you know because I'm always muted. So let's do this. Okay, so let me check my thing. Let's do this one. Let's do this. And then let's do this.
Hey,
Yay!
how you guys doing? What's up?
Hello.
Oh, they live, y'all. They live. They ready. They live. So on the bottom, we have Regina, and we'll start with her first, and then to to this way, whatever this is on your screen. We have Bree, and I'm so happy that I wanted to bring the other two designers on as well, but they're still tweaking their collection. I spoke with Ariana earlier, and I told her just go to Starbucks, get you something happy, take 2 hours, and then go back at it. Just take a break because tomorrow's the day, and I don't want you to lose your mind because you will lose your mind the day
Oh
before.
yeah.
Luckily for me, I'm the calmest I've been in forever. Like I've never been this calm the day before Fashion Week, and I know it's God. So all kudos to God. Yay! So we're going to start with Regina, and then we'll introduce Regina. Oh, I don't know if you let me put the comments up on the screen. So, ladies, the comments will show down the bottom from the people that are leaving comments in the comment section on StreamYard. And what I'll do is bring them over here if they're relevant to you, or we can just put all of them up. Well, no, not all of them, but we'll put the ones up that matter to you because my friends are crazy. And so we're going to start with Regina first. So, for those of you, if this is your first time here for any of my interview podcast, whatever this is. We're going to call it interview session or interview dive. The screens will change a little bit because I always remove myself out of the view when a person is talking, unless we're having a one-on-one or one-on-one conversation, and then I'll bring everybody back. So what we're going to do is I'm going to remove this comment so you can see. We're going to speak to Regina. So let's all say bye to Bree for now. Bye, Bree. Bree will be back. She'll be back. But right now, it's just me and Regina. We're going to hang out for a little bit. So, Regina, tell our audience members a little bit about yourself, why you started to do design and just whatever you want them to know. And you have 3 seconds. Don't want to get you have you have a minute. I won't do that to you. Minute. You have 1 minute 60 seconds. And
I
so
hear you. I hear you. Hi, everybody. How are you? My name is Regina Alita Cookley. My fashion brand is Alita Regina. And why I started designing was I remember being a little girl and watching my mother always at this brown machine, sewing machine where it was kind of green, that green from the 70s and 80s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And she would always be sewing like every time. It almost seemed like almost every day. It didn't matter if it was like our church outfits. It didn't matter if it was like Halloween costumes. She was always like that. Seemed like it to be her happy place. So I would watch her as a little girl, and it just seemed very interesting to me. So she's definitely one of my biggest inspirations. And I've been actually designing. I went to FIT in New York, the Fashion Institute of Technology, and I have 3 degrees. I have jewelry design, accessories, as well as women's apparel. So um, I'm just I'm just really into to designing and being creative, and that's just me. That's me a little bit. See, that was a minute.
yay! So yeah, you know, it's time. Yay! So you, I didn't know that you went to. You're like the third person within the past 6 months that I found out that went to either FIT or Parsons.
Ah,
And then for you,
yes.
so when you went, you did 3 degrees.
That's how long I was there. I started off doing jewelry design, and I I was just walking down the hallway, and I was like, I saw the students making handbags, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. So the next year I went for accessories, and I've always had a passion for like designing clothes. So I took maybe a 1 year break, and then after that I went. I actually entered. Uh, I started that degree when Obama became president, because that was my portfolio for the entrance. So yes. So yeah.
Y'all got to excuse the back. My mom's here, and I told her I was laughing.
Hi, Mama.
Android. Anyway, so now we're going to bring. So I'm sorry. Did you have it? Because I got questions. They're like, ah! So I need to hurry and get them out. So did you have anything else you wanted to add before we bring you're Regina, before we bring Bree to the stage to the screen?
That's just about it. I'm really excited for tomorrow, and I can't wait to see the other designers' collections.
Yay! Okay, so everybody say bye to Regina. Bye.
Bye.
And now we have Bree. So this is Bree
Hello.
and I are like hangout buddies on the live sector. Um, so Bree, you know the routine. This is not new to you. You know how crazy I
Yes.
am. So just go at it. Let them know a little bit about yourself, why you decided to become a designer, and I don't know if you want to talk about any type of educational background you have. That's completely up to you. And I'm a exit stage, whatever this stage is over here, and then I'll be back.
Okay. Hey, everybody. My name is Brinette, Bree for short. My fashion brand is Alchemy Designs by Bree. A little bit about why I chose the name. Alchemy is, if you're familiar with the science of alchemy, it means transformation. It means turning something, basically turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. And so that's why I chose the name, along with a good friend of mine. I started the fashion brand because um, I have always wanted to do this, even as a little girl. I was very conservative, traditional home, so that my path was kind of not chosen for me, but fashion wasn't really something that I was encouraged to do at the time. And so I've always admired those in fashion who basically have had the audacity to step out and be different. And so that's what kind of drew me to finally pursue it. I challenged myself, what would happen if you just give this your everything? So that's where I am now. I'm an FIT student now. So I'm studying foundations of fashion styling. My passion is to create the look. That's where I want to be, whether it's costume or editorial. I am in fashion FIT as we speak. My program is online, and it is in conjunction with Parsons as well. It's like a partnership. They offer this program, so I'm very excited to be here. This is runway show number 2, and I'm excited. I feel welcome. I feel supported, and I just can't wait to get out there and see the finished product tomorrow.
And I was muted. Now I'm not. So yes, let's bring Regina back up. Since we have the two FIT sisters hanging out here.
Whoop, whoop.
So I didn't go to FIT. I did not. I don't. I don't. But I am going to reach out to them. Hey Shannon. So Shannon's here. I am going to reach out to them to see if maybe we can create some type of partnership. Um,
Absolutely.
I think that would be pretty cool. Something I don't know. So I'll do that after September, after New York Fashion Week is over. Then I'll reach out to them to see. I'm quite sure that's going to be a trip to New York. But anyway, to see how we can partner together with the two of you. Regina graduated from there, and you attending there now. Maybe we could work some type of creative partnership where I don't know, our members get a discount or something. I don't know. But my mind, when I get up there after I have one of those cup of coffees from their Starbucks, which I love, I'm quite sure the creative juices and the ideas will flow. So let's jump right into it, and let's talk about your passion, because you talked about a little bit and how you got started, but your passion behind um, to continue to move forward, because I know everybody knows the pandemic hit because we were all associated with it. I let my office go real quick. That's why you see this back here. I let it go, and so I let the office go, but I kept the vision going for the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, and it wasn't easy for me. And so, with you two being creatives and so hands on, like I am with my artwork and everything else down here in my studio, how hard was it for you to keep the vision going and to keep it focused, and also in keeping it going to keep your sanity doing what everybody was going through? I know being a creative, I know for, I'm gonna speak for me. I know for me, when, because I don't know where all this creativity came from, but it came from during the pandemic. That's when it really hit or honed in for me. So with you all attending school, FIT, you know, Regina watching her mom. So, and Bree, I think with you, you started when you were young as well, right?
No, I wanted
Oh,
to,
I'm
and I
wrong.
never started until I had the guts to do it, about 2018 or 19.
Okay, well, I was wrong. Okay, ladies, wrong. And so Bree recently starting, but Regina watched her mom. So tell us a little bit how that affected you. Whoever want to go first, I'm just gonna leave the three of us up here. So whoever wants to go first, you can go.
What's your
I'll
question?
go first.
The question is, how did you manage to keep your vision alive during the pandemic?
Got it. You want me?
Um, oh, sorry.
No, no, go.
Okay. Um, for me, it was kind of hard. It really was. Because doing around that time, I stepped away from fashion for a little bit, just because of personal issues. Um, so it was a little bit more difficult for me. I've always felt the creativity pulling me, like, when something inside of you, you can never forget it. You can't let it go. So it was a little bit, maybe a year after that. I'm like, you know what, Regina, you gotta continue doing what you gotta do. And that's when I started, getting back into it again. And getting the magazines and actually looking at fashion shows because I did watch a couple of the fashion shows because not too many designers had their fashion shows during that time, but the ones that did, um, it was really interesting because you can kind of see that the creativity across the board was kind of like but people were still pushing it. They were still doing what they had to do. So, but for me, it was a little struggle.
Likewise, for me, my business being so new, and then the pandemic hit. So I already was having, like, the beginner's blues. When are my things going to sell? And why is my
Right.
social media following not this way and that way? Trying to remain creative and figure out the business aspect of things, what order things were supposed to go in. What do I do first? Do I register this way first? Do I sign up for this? Do I sign up for that? Meanwhile, it's your own finances that are financing the business initially, and then having to really, take that hit during COVID. I personally lost $1,000 a month right away during COVID. So to stay inspired, it's like you mentioned, Regina, and that is staying in your magazines, stay training, stay reading, learning your craft, whatever you have to do, watching videos, just to stay inspired so that you can create. So it's a challenge, but you really just have to be intentional about it. And like you said, that passion doesn't go away. So even if you try to walk away like, oh, I'm gonna give it a break, no, it's still there. And you won't rest, and you're not satisfied unless you're creating, unless it's right in your face and you're doing what you love. So that's what kept me going.
Absolutely right.
So if there was one thing that either one of you could mention that you wish you knew now that you didn't know when you started, what would that be?
Mm.
Mine would be to inspire my audience first, to really come out and to tell my story and to inspire them rather than try to sell to them. I didn't know that. I just didn't know. I've learned it, but that would be, I would say, number one is to try to inspire first.
Regina,
Okay, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I forgot what I said. Oh, Rihanna, can you tell her? I'm sorry, I got the questions and I don't write stuff down. Can you tell her what the question?
What would
No, go,
no?
because they.
What was your what's one thing that I think you said one thing that you would do differently, right?
Yes,
Starting.
In the beginning,
Um,
starting out.
I think for me is doubting myself. That's a huge issue I have sometimes is you know overthinking a little bit sometimes and like am I capable of doing this? And sometimes when you doubt yourself, it's like a domino effect. So
Right.
that's the one thing that I would say is you know to tell myself, look, girl, you got this. Don't give up now. You got to keep going. Got to keep pushing. So yeah.
so being a creative, how hard was it, or what? Well, I'm not going to say how hard it was. Was it hard? And like Bree, you just stated that you wanted to, if you could do it again, you would inspire your audience. Regina was the doubt. What type of advice with your brand? Let me go back a little bit. So I would like for you to tell our audience members what your brand represents.
My brand personally, the reason that it's called alchemy in the first place. Alchemy is an ancient science, if for anyone who is unfamiliar, and basically it's the science of turning a substance into gold. It's some think it's some for some people it's like a pseudoscience, but the concept is the same nevertheless. And I felt like that's what I needed, that's what I wanted to do and to help my audience do. And that is to turn, basically to make yourself into whatever it is that you choose to. Transformation is the word that comes to mind. That's what my brand represents. It represents transformation because my customer, my client, you know, the age of my audience usually are women that are going through transitional periods in life, whether it be positive or negative. And so I understood that, you know, when you look good, you feel good, and you never have to look like what it is that you
Right.
are going through. And so that's the transformation piece for me. That's what inspires my brand.
I really do like that because that kind of connects a little bit with my brand. I chose Alita Regina because Alita is my middle name. But I'm all about confident being when the women wear my clothes. I'm feeling sexy and feeling confident because again, like if you could be going through whatever you're going through, but you don't have to look like it. You don't have to
Right.
look like it. I mean,
That's
you
right.
have your days. Some days you have your
Right.
days, but that's what my brand is. It really represents that confidence, that hard working woman, the business woman who just wants to stand out. Um, the bold colors and prints. What my brand is all about. Having that confidence and feeling sexy.
I was back here writing questions. So I have one. I have several. So know that when I'm going off the screen, questions are being written. Okay,
I
wonderful.
like the color. I love the color.
So now we're going to get on my favorite topic in the whole wide world. Okay, we have a question. Ooh, this is really good one. So this is from the Artist Exchange Media Hub. Nate Hauser is the founder of that hub, and you'll meet him tomorrow. He's like so fabulous. And so his question is, what's one thing that you learned about yourself during the transition from the pandemic to
Ooh,
now?
I like that question.
So Regina, you
I
want to go first?
Yes, I would say that I am just capable of doing anything. Like just staying creative. You have your ups and down days, and just sometimes when you're in the dark, sometimes that's when you can see the best, if that makes sense. Like you have more creativity, like you have things, you think of different things, and you're using this and you're using that. So just coming out of what I came out of and then going into the pandemic is kind of like, for me, that was um, a time to stop and think because all the time we were always running, we were just going here and going there, and we weren't thinking, we were just moving. So for me it was a time to just stop and think, and that's exactly what I did. And here I am. So I do like that question. That's a really good question.
For me, I think that the main thing I recognized about myself, it sounds similar to yours, Regina. When you started talking, it just resonated with me. Is that I can do more than I thought I could,
Right.
with less. I worked with less
Yes.
than prior to the
Yes.
pandemic, and still, still made it happen every single day, still made moves every day. I never fell into, thank God, I never fell into like a bad mental space or depression or anything like that. I was kept. I can do more than I thought that I could do. Once I got to the fact that I'm worthy of this, then I just,
Right.
it was off to the races from there.
Exactly. Well said.
Thank you.
She must be writing some more questions.
Thank you, Ronald.
She must have a lot of questions that she's writing.
Hey, bring it on.
Oh man. But But exactly, like that, just having that time to think is, sometimes you do need to take time out for that. If that's very important, especially being a creative person. Um, just just take that time out, breathe. I know you want to keep moving to the next collection or next garment. It's just really good to just sometimes just stop, breathe. um, it always seems like we're running out of time, or don't, we don't have enough time to do something. But in essence, it's all in the mind. Just breathe, keep it going,
Yeah,
and that everything will be all
that's
right.
right. And it happens when it's supposed to. No
It
need to
does.
kill yourself over it. It happens when it's supposed to.
It does. It really does. It's that moment. The
Hmm.
moment.
So I have a question. So my question is, it's really
I knew it.
maybe it's a statement. So mood boards versus croquis. What's your preference and why?
That's why she was. That's where you were going. I actually love mood boards. I'm not even gonna lie, and I noticed that a lot of people are using it also, um, as far as also inspiration boards, which is the same thing. Like, right here, I would consider this being a color inspiration for autumn and winter 2023, 2024. And I just kind of use this for, the collections, like different colors that I want to use. And, it just kind of gets that idea out there. It kind of gives you the, you know, what am I trying to say? Like the different things that you want to work on, just give you the inspiration that you need. I definitely love mood boards. As far as croquis, that's just like either the woman or the man or the child, whatever you're designing, either is, plus size or just regular, average size. You're taking these inspirations that you did, and then you're sketching them and, doing whatever, and then you actually put it on the person, or croquis as you call it. And once you have a solid trend board, you can go crazy with your designs. Like that's when the ideas just keep on coming and keep on going, which actually happened to me. So, there's a time where you need to stop, or else you would just keep on going like I did, but I couldn't. I had idea after idea after idea, but it's a really good thing to do.
So
Definitely, I push it.
I have a question for you, Regina. With your mood boards, your colors are very. Oh, sorry,
Hello.
that's my son. He always calls when I'm live. So with your mood board, you have in the background, it looks like your colors are more warm. Do you incorporate colors, pops of color, like bright oranges or yellows or bright greens, reds? And your color now, I don't want you to think, I don't want anybody watching to think that this is a pleasure of doing this in the basement, the lower level, because Jesus. Anyway, I don't want anybody to think that I'm coming for Regina because I'm not, but I just had a question because me being a person who wear almost any color, um, with your color palette that you have in your mood boards, do you incorporate brighter colors? I see one of the pictures has white with blue, a blue, pale blue bottom.
Um, I it really just depends on. I let the fabric actually. It sounds weird, but I actually go fabric shopping first. But it just depends on the mood that I want to go into. Because if you let me, I'll design a whole black collection. But it does depend. Like if I see a print, it may be in this color scheme, or something a little bit brighter, or a little bit. It just depends on the mood that I would want to set for the collection. It just depends.
So your mood board works in a gradation, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Bree.
So I prefer mood boards as well. The way my creative process works is, I go through a million images, and whichever ones speak to me are the ones I'm going to pick out and go with that vibe, so to speak. I'm going to go with that aesthetic for that particular collection. So it depends on like Regina, what it is that I'm trying to achieve in that particular collection. It depends on what it's for too, what the purpose is. If it's for runway, it may be a little more bold, because it's going to be out in front of people and on camera. If it's for a client, it's going to be tailored to that specific client. I'm going to go with some of the things that define them already, and then try to push the envelope just a little bit with them. So definitely mood boards. It depends what's speaking to me in the moment and what the purpose of the collection is.
So do nobody does croquis anymore? Like, am I the only one that loves that?
Oh well, no, I love to draw.
Okay.
I no, but like I would use the mood board at first and like looking at different uh designers, like what they have coming in, because you have the current fashion and then you have the designers that design for like the year, the next season. So I try
Right.
to look at all the different things and just use that as an inspiration. So no, I still use. I love to draw. Paper, pencil, markers, Pantone, everything.
Oh, that was one of my questions coming up, Pantone. But before I get into that question, Cheryl the Pearl, she has a question for the two of you. What's your least favorite part of being a fashion designer?
When
I
you
love
get when For me, it's when I get a creative block. It's equivalent to when a writer gets writer's block. That's my
it
least
is.
favorite thing. It's like, especially if there's a deadline and your ideas just aren't flowing and you have to figure out why. Do I need to be by myself? Do I need to relax? Something's got to get me back being creative. So that's probably my least favorite part anyway, is when I get creative block.
I would add on to that also. Trying to design for a client, but then also keeping your aesthetic with it. Because sometimes people, they will love what you do, but then they say, "Well, I want this instead." Like, well, I know looks best on you or what needs to go, but I want to kind of push the envelope a little bit with you. I mean, come on, I need you to work with me, just a little bit. But I would say that definitely writer's block, and then just trying to push that envelope, step out, have people step out their boundaries, just a little bit,
Right,
because you came to me for a reason. You want to look good, you want to feel confident. Um,
right.
but yeah, I would say that's my two biggest issues.
So, how do you handle a client that has come to you for your services, your talents, and or your skill set, or all of them combined, or even your price points of your garment? Which we have a question in the comments now about pricing and your formula. How do you handle that client when they want to stay where they want to stay? And in your mind, you know where you can take them, but they're not ready and they don't want to move. They're with you for years and they just do not want to move. As a designer that's always evolving with your vision and creating trends, or enhancing the trends that are there, how do you handle such a client like that?
At the end of the day, it's what the client wants, and if they're comfortable in a certain space, it maybe in time we'll be able to push the envelope, but our job is to serve, and to make them feel confident. And if they feel confident, if they're, for example, if they're super conservative, then maybe they be open to different colorways, but with the same type of garment. You know what I mean? So there's ways to switch it up, but to still keep them in the lane that they want to be in. At the end of the day, they want to be comfortable, and that's what they come to you for. So you can't really make them do or wear something they don't want to. You can only make suggestions based on what they've already presented to you that they want and that they're comfortable in, and continue to
I
build their
yeah,
confidence, and then
yeah,
at some point they may say, all right, let me try the lime green. It's a little loud,
exactly,
but let's go for it.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Just trying to, like I said, being conservative, and then just maybe a print, a little print here, or a little color here, or maybe a certain silhouette that they they are stuck to, and you try to. That's where you have to actually be a chameleon and try
Right.
to fit different puzzles in different things and different ways. So it's you always have to. It's not just sitting at a coffee table and drinking coffee like some people may think we do, or just in the clouds. It's actually really thinking, because that's how you make your money. That's how you sell. Like, that's how you get your designs out there. You always have to be thinking on your feet,
That's
and what's economical, what's this, and what's pretty good. So I mean, because you could take fabric from Walmart and make it look like, if that's their price point, you better make it work.
right.
Like, you got to do what you have to do. So yeah, that's I definitely agree. She writing down more questions. That just means we are really good at doing this interview. It's a really good interview.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's asking about a pricing formula.
Feel it. So the reason why this is a really, really good question, and Nate and I talk about this all the time, and in doing Fashion Week for 16 seasons or 16 years, have you? It's been 16. Okay, you would be surprised at how many designers don't know how to price their garment. They just don't know. A lot of them, and no shade on anyone, but they haven't. So a lot of them have not gone to school, but they're impeccable, like, oh my, amazing, amazing designers. But they just don't know how to price a garment. So back to the Artist Exchange Media Hub's question: how do you handle pricing, and what is your formula? How do you come up with that bottom line item number or cost?
For me, I use it's called the markup calculator. It's an app that I was introduced to when I went to the first schooling that I did, which was through another designer. I used the markup calculator, and basically that markup calculator, you put in the original price. It's right in the app store, by the way, if everyone wants to look that up. Um, you put in the original price that you paid. For me, I have ready to wear. So I put in the original price that was paid, and then I'll put in the percentage of markup that I would like to achieve. And it gives me the price pretty much. It calculates it for me. Now, the only thing with ready to wear is based on your brand and how much exposure you have, you may not be able to do the 200% markups like some of the more popular brands. You may have to start at like maybe a 50 or a 75. You have to see where your client is and where your brand is. They don't know you. So initially you have to get a price point from. For me, I look at all of my favorite, designers, all of my favorite stores I even shop in. And I'm looking at my clientele like, okay, this is a comfortable price point. So maybe it's a 75% this go round instead of 100%, 150 or 200. That comes down the road once you're a little bit more known, once people trust your brand a little bit more, and once your perceived value increases. But initially, you may have to go a little lower, percentage wise.
I agree. That's a lot of mistakes that some designers do. They try to go all the way up here.
Right, right.
You have to start somewhere, and you have to get your name out there, and with that, it has to come quality. So
That's right.
for me, it's along that line, but because I create actually um, from scratch, like I do the patterns, I do for a garment. I actually, if I'm draping on a mannequin, I have the muslin and I have to make the pattern. So for me, it's definitely doing like hourly kind of certain things. Sometimes I may adjust that price just again depending on what my client is like, what their range. Because I always ask, what is your range? And then I ask them, can you go a little bit higher, or can we just push it a little bit? And if they say no, then I stay right there. That's the kind of fabric I'll look for. Um, but for me, like I have to write down. I do it a little old school way. I write how much each button costs, or like how much the zipper costs, or um, you know with thread, different things like that, and um, then I have that hourly rate where I would add someone. And again, like I said, I adjust it because I'm still even though I've been designing for 20 years, I'm still kind of fresh coming into the like a open, like I want to sell my things to a boutique. I'm still a little new to that. But that is how I've done it in the past with clients where I would take my prices hourly and how long it took me, and how much the fabric cost, um, you know, different things like that. And then I would add just a little markup to it, anything to try to make um, a profit. But as far as um, different formulas, it is a little bit different for me when it comes to that. Even when I'm making jewelry, I have to actually write down how many jump rings I bought or how many pieces of earring hooks. So it's just a little bit different, just
Hmm.
depending on when you're making custom design things.
Right.
You actually price in the jump rings when you do.
Yes,
Well, I mean, if you're
yes.
doing jewelry, I guess you have to. That's wow.
Yes, yeah, because you don't, yeah, you have to everything that you, and that's how I was taught in school, but it kind of makes sense with the when you're making the garment. There's a little wiggle room, but when you're doing like a handbag, you gotta price in the how much the leather costs. You have to price the zippers and the feet. So it could be a lot, but at the end of the day, it's definitely worth it.
So we have another question. Oh, this is just making my job so easy. We have another question from Mr. Geeks. Dare to be different. That's what DTBT means. So his question is, what are you most excited for at or about Baltimore Fashion Week?
I
Um,
personally, oh, sorry, you
no,
first.
no, no. I just for me, this would be the first fashion show after the pandemic. So just seeing it going from sketch to actually being on the stage is what I'm really excited about. Because it's been some nights where you're crying, you can't sleep because you're thinking of this. So just seeing the designs come to life is very exciting. I really can't wait for tomorrow.
I'm excited mostly to one, work with new people and create new relationships. That's probably top notch for me. Second would be the exposure for my brand and to see the looks come to life. You always put the looks together and wonder how it's going to come across, and so to see it come to life is probably that's the reward right there.
Right, exactly. All that hard work.
Yeah.
But accidentally wasting coffee on my outfit today. I was like,
Uh-oh.
talking about scream to the top of my lungs.
Mhm.
First it was the coffee that I'm like, oh my god, my coffee, and I'm like, oh my god, the outfit. But no, it's good.
So wait. So in IT world, they tell you not to have something like this near your computers, right? So you had. So wait a minute. The coffee spilled on a garment for tomorrow.
Yes.
Ah, bye, Regina.
No, I fixed it. It looks good. It looks good. I promise.
Look, it
Yeah.
better. Okay, the production intern just came out. It better. Okay, no, let me go.
No, she will look snatched tomorrow.
Snatch. Okay, okay. So we have another question. I'm not sure what this means. So hopefully, Mr. Geek will expand a little bit more. What's your end game?
You mean with fashion or with the business, I guess?
I don't know. Hopefully, he'll follow up with that. Like I'm
What's the
old
next
school,
step?
so end game means to me the end of the game, but I know that's not what we're talking about here. So I'm gonna be quiet on this. Um,
I feel like he might be talking about with your brand. What's your end
okay,
game?
more than
Um,
likely, probably.
so for me, I would say my end game is to create looks for probably like a high level clientele. I want to create an experience. I'd like to have a physical location where there's a boutique as well as styling in the same place. Perhaps some other services in there, kind of like a beauty bar. That's really my end game, to be honest with you. If I'm not working in it, someone working in it for me. But I really want to just work and serve clients above all else.
Awesome. I love it. Um, uh, I've always wanted my own boutique. Um, I've always wanted to one of a kind pieces. So actually, I'm currently simultaneously working on items that I want to sell in a boutique in New York. So, but you can only go to that one place, and that's the atmosphere that I want to create for my clients. Where there's only a couple of stores in America you can go to get that look.
Right.
So and that's always what I wanted, and that's part of my what I describe my business as an avant-garde inspired couture, like different things, just something you can't find no place else, and that's what makes it different, and that's what would make my clients stand out more. So
Right.
definitely trying to have my own boutique. Yeah, we can't hear you. It's muted.
It's probably best that you deny it what I just said. It's probably it's the day before the event, and I don't have time for this. Okay. Let me go to my questions. Let me see. Okay. Do y'all hear that?
Hey, mama.
Uh-uh, uh-uh, uh-uh. No,
She want to ask questions too. It's
no,
okay.
no, no. I don't think I asked this question. No, I didn't. Did I talk about Pantone yet?
No, no, you
Okay.
mentioned it.
So Pantone comes out with their favorite colors of the season or the year every year. As a creative, do you think a creatives must follow that guideline that they put into place? And if not, why?
Mm.
I think it's just that it's a guideline. Um, I definitely will take it into consideration, especially if it's what my clientele is purchasing. If that's what my client wants. On the other hand, as a creative, I'm going to add my own thing to it. I may add a color into the collection that's not with the season, just to kind of make it pop. Or it just really depends. I'm going to always add something to it, even if I do take it into consideration. Not that they're right or wrong, but that's simply their observation based on whatever data they collect. So I'm always going to add something to it to make it mine, to make it unique to my customer.
Mm, yes, I agree. It is a guideline, just to say, hey, this is what we foresee that people are going to. What's the hip thing now? But again, I'm from the '90s, the '80s. Um, some things don't always go out of style. Like there's some things that if you just change the color, it's it makes something look so different. So
Yep.
it just depends on the market that you're going for.
Hmm.
If you want to kind of follow that exact, or again, you can take like I did, just bits and pieces of something, and then just add your. It's not something that you have to actually. I feel that you should have to follow,
Right.
but taking consideration.
Hmm.
Um, Watch who you're selling for, because that's who you're selling to, like who your market is, and maybe try something here and there. You don't have to do the whole collection like that. Maybe just try, and if it sells, it you can continue on to it and build onto that.
Hmm.
um but yeah, I like that question.
Good. So we have another question in the deck. And the question is, what's the name of your piece for tomorrow that you can't wait to see come to life tomorrow at Fashion?
Yay!
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go first with this. um, for this collection, I it's called Beauty from the Dirt, right? Um, it talks about that, like how you talked about being in the pandemic. It kind of actually fit into everything that I was going to say about my collection tomorrow. But as far as you said, the color, the season was denim this year. I think it's for this year and the next year. I added denim, so I played on denim, and then I added kind of like bright colors. But Beauty from the Dirt, I always felt like it's a seed. It's surrounded around all of that file and that the mud and the dust. Even though we can't see what's going in that dirt, it's growing. And and like we said earlier, it's the moment when it's time for that flower to come out. It's the most beautifulest thing, even though it's been going through so much in the dark, and all the water, aka tears, that was shed to make nutrients, like everything. Once it comes out of the ground, it's the most beautifulest thing. So my one thing that I also did was doing non-traditional wedding gowns. I mean, it's nice to be in a white, beautiful gown, but tomorrow my gown is denim, and it's 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 draped. It's so beautiful, and I just want to see Jasmine. She practiced her walk in it, but I really want to see how it comes to life tomorrow. And just watching it come from that design that I showed Miss Sharon in the beginning, to actually dealing with the denim, accidentally getting stretched denim, but it still looked good. And just tomorrow, just doing the fitting and then just seeing how it looks tomorrow. That is something I really can't wait for tomorrow.
I
I'm
will
really excited.
I will add to Regina's comment. I did see the look and it is amazing. It is, I didn't know it was a wedding gown. It is absolutely,
Non traditional, yeah, non
it is
traditional wedding gown.
beautiful. I was like, you sure you know what you want to do? I know you got more up in there. You sure? But that's okay. Hopefully she'll be back next year and she'll, make our eyes bleed more next year. But okay, Bree, on to you, on to you. I won't tell. So can I tell them the name of the garment? Because my
Yes,
people get this.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So the name of the garment that Regina is talking about is called Queen. And for those of you that are lucky, you will receive this I guess it's a marketing brochure, and you can check off the pieces that you like as they come down the runway. And so for Regina, she'll be opening up the second half. It's the last garment in her collection. So now, Bree, tell us about yours.
So mine would be, and I actually had a little bit of a challenge coming up with a name. I focus on descriptions and neglect to name them, but that's okay. The one I'm looking forward to would be my I called it the Showstopper Sequin Ensemble, and that's because I put together two different, how can I put it? It's a mixed media look. Mixed media is my favorite thing to play with. So I put sequins along with like a chiffon type of top. I love the way the top drapes and the way it's going to look against the sequin. I'm really excited about that. Um, the sequin, it's kind of over the top for the look, but again, I like to play with mixed media. So I can't wait to see the two of them come together with the accessories that I put with it. That's going to be my highlight.
Okay, okay. I'm
All right.
excited. And so the piece that you referred to, is that the you said the showstopper?
Yes.
Okay. So I named your pieces from your description. You'll see it
Okay.
tomorrow. And it's
Thank you
funny
for that.
because the first one is called Showstopper. That's just like so crazy. And
Yes.
Shirley Cam will be wearing that, and she was on here. I don't know if she's still here or not, but she's one of the models that is walking. And I always tell a story about Shirley because she's so fabulous. When she interviewed, well, I was doing designer interviews, and she registered, and then I was like, oh my gosh, she's so fabulous. And but the more and
Hmm.
more we talked, I realized that she wasn't a designer. I was like, wait a minute, you're a model? Like she was so fabulous. I just love her fit. It's just amazing. Do I have any other questions? I do. Oh, okay. So I don't know. I think this could have been. Why is there a spider? Oh my God, I'm so scared. Oh, it's a spider. What is it? Oh my God, Lord, please cover me. Okay, great. Focus, Nixon. It's a spider on the ceiling. Anyway, so can you explain the process you omitted in the beginning of your creative process that you realized you needed, but you left it out?
I would
Does it make
say
sense?
the inspiration piece, inspiring my audience. I left that out, and I went straight towards, hey, I have a boutique. Here's my stuff, and they, they don't know me, so it's like trying to connect with my audience. I think I left that out to a fault.
And Regina, and then I have one last question for you.
You're talking about for the collection or actually for the brand?
Either or.
Oh, well, for the collection this time, I was trying to do everything, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I was trying to do jewelry. I was trying to do handbags. I was trying to do headpieces. I I had this headpiece that I wanted. That it was kind of like what Whitney Houston had on in that movie, and then Brandy. Um, I eliminated that, but I think I should have kept that and just try to play it a little bit more around adding different things, just maybe for one, but maybe next collection or next yeah.
Okay. So for my final question of the evening, unless we have any more questions coming from the audience, what is your favorite accessory and why?
Just period.
No, wait a
What's
minute.
your favorite
Let me take that back. That's not how I usually end it. Oh, it's because I haven't done this in a while, the accessory part. So as an accessory, what accessory best describes you? That's it.
Mm, I like that one. A stiletto. I love stiletto heels. I love a good shoe. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh my God. Everything has to be focused around that shoe because I love when I get the look from, cute guys um, or women that just like style period. They actually look you from up to head to toe, or vice versa. And just the fact that you see someone go like, "Ooh, look at those shoes!" I love that. I love a good shoe. Give me a good heel any day.
I think mine
Great.
would be like statement jewelry, statement earring or necklace, or both, a set, because I feel like since I'm kind of conservative by default, um, even if I have on something super, super, super plain, a statement piece of jewelry just makes it happen. Makes it not even plain, not plain anymore. It's just now it's a statement outfit instead of a statement piece of jewelry.
I like that.
So with Regina, with you with the shoe, and then Bree, you with the statement piece. Suppose you're out and you're fabulous as ever, but then they only pay attention to those pieces and never pay attention to the garment. How does that? How do you handle that? I don't handle it well. Okay, I'm just letting you know. It needs to be a class for me because the this all of this is fab. Okay, not just the shoe, ma'am. So
Yeah.
how do you handle that?
Well,
Well,
depending on the garment.
tell me how to.
Well, depending on the garment, you gonna tone it down. It may not necessarily be a statement piece. If how can I put it? If the look is speaking loud enough, I don't have to have statement pieces. I'm gonna have
Right.
subtle jewelry at that point. So that's what gives them the focus on that, on the look, instead of on the statement pieces. So it depends on the look. If the look is kind of solid or basic, that's when the accessories, I don't mind for the accessories to just pop at that point.
Okay.
Yes, sometimes I actually purposely wear, like, I purposely wear a regular outfit so you can look at the shoes,
Right.
or you can look at the person like, "Hey, look, you see my shoes? Yeah."
Right.
Like, and then my confidence goes up a little bit. And it's like, okay, I know you see me. It's all right. You see those shoes? Don't play me, because I see you see them shoes.
Right. Yep.
Oh, these shoes. Can everybody buy Regina some shoes for Christmas?
Oh, you should see the ones I'm wearing tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I said. I would purposely wear something that's just, yeah, it's the shoes for me, because then my legs look sexy with them, and I
Here
love
we go. Here we go.
it. We gotta laugh. Tomorrow's the show. It's been a long.
Okay, so this is my. I promise. This is my last question. Okay,
Okay.
you have to tell me which one you represent. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
They're on two different ends of the spectrum. But hey, Liberty, Carrie Bradshaw. Okay,
Ooh.
Carrie
Carrie
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw or Gail King.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sorry. I even drink her wine.
I think
Yeah. It's
it's
just,
Carrie Bradshaw for me.
yeah, being dramatic. I just love it. It's just, that's just
Yeah,
me all the way.
absolutely, absolutely. I think I
I
live
love her.
vicariously I think I live vicariously through Carrie Bradshaw because I grew up super conservative with my clothes, and
mhm.
I'm even super conservative now. I have to push myself to step outside of the box. So I think I live vicariously through her. Like I watch those, I'm just like,
Yeah.
ugh. If my next house doesn't have my boyfriend now, if we don't have a house in the future, closet like she had when she moved in with Big, I can't live in that closet.
Oh my God. Wasn't that closet amazing? Yes.
Yeah, like I
Yes.
need that closet in my life.
Yes. I actually have a jar where I'm saving up for my first Christian Louboutin. I do. It's my Christian Louboutin jar. So
There you
yeah,
go. I love it.
yeah.
Well, we have Lingo Magazine here. It says, "Hey, ladies, have to catch this from the beginning. Good luck tomorrow, ladies." So she
Thank
can't
you.
be here. They Lingo Magazine would be here. Her and her team, they were coming deep. Oh my God, I was not ready for that, but they'll be here for the shows next year. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the shows that are first of all, before I be rude, let me thank the two of you for being here tonight, just for a little
Thank you.
conversation between the three of us. You're welcome. And I can't wait to see your collections tomorrow. So now I'm going to briefly jump into our runway schedule for 2024. For those of you that caught this from the beginning, the marketing asset is already up for the model casting, which takes place on October the 7th. August 2024 is Baltimore Fashion Week. The designer debut at New York Fashion Week returns in September. In October, we're going to Delaware for a runway event. And then in November, we have the Emerging Designer Platform open to 12th graders and younger. No college students can apply, so don't register.
Hmm.
Okay, do not register if you're not in high school for that. So I
Hmm.
just want to thank you all, and please follow us on Baltimore Fashion Week. Also, when the other sites are up and available, we'll start marketing them as well. But have a great show.
Yay! I'm excited.
Tracy Jiggets is our host. Nate Kauser will be there tomorrow, and Mr. Geeks Antoine Brown is the he manages back a house, so he'll be there to greet you and tell you where you're going to be sitting. You will also receive one of these as well, although you know what your collection is and where it's going to be. You know all that already, and I'm really excited. It's been a long year for me as far as production phases, ups and downs, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited for tomorrow. And yeah, it's time for me to go back to work.
Yes.
Start preparing for tomorrow. Get the second suitcase packed up. So, ladies, do you have any parting words of advice for anyone interested in walking in, not in your shoes, but taking the journey you are taking towards creativity?
I would say parting words is give yourself permission. Permission. I can say for me, it's always been an innate passion, and I had to give myself permission to step out and do it, and to, ask myself, what would happen if I just gave this my all? So give yourself permission to just step out and do it. Um, I can tell you that it won't go away. The passion won't disappear because you try to go another route or do something else. It's not going anywhere. So, just step out on faith and take a chance.
Yes. Definitely trust in yourself, having confidence in yourself, um, trusting that it whatever step that you're going to make, God is going to make it. It's just you just got to trust yourself, trust Him. Um, and even though you want to push it, it doesn't matter. Like if you're going through something, and if it's in you, like Bree said, it's sorry, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to haunt you when you're sleeping. It's keep going, don't give up, because if you do, that is it's almost like you're giving up on yourself.
That's
So
right.
just just have faith and kill it. Just do what you do. Have
That's
faith.
right. That's right.
So, so again, ladies, I thank you for your time. I
Thank
can't wait
you.
to see what you bring to the runway tomorrow. I'm so excited for
Yay.
everything. I'll see you all will be there for the reception tomorrow. So that's going to be cute. And I think that's all I have. I don't have any questions. I'm thinking about what I need to do when I get off of this live. But anyway, so we end, and I'm going to put back up the marketing asset for 2024 for the model casting that's coming up October the 7th. And then we will be working hopefully with an agency, another agency soon for the a few of the shows that are coming up. And that's all I have. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
You're
nice night. See you guys
welcome to.
tomorrow.
Right.
Okay,
See you
don't forget
tomorrow.
you get your tickets. Get your tickets online. BaltimoreFW.com.
Bye.